As you guys know, Omnisphere 3 is here, and in this video, I'll show you how to import your own one-shots from different banks and libraries you guys purchased over time, import them into Omnisphere, and create your own patches. So let's hop straight into it. So this is Omnisphere by default. It's a sawtooth. If you click where it says Layer A, we can go to where it says Synth Oscillator. Click here, we'll switch it to the sample mode. Now we can click in here and import our own samples. So what we'll do is go into our browser, for example. This kit is at busyworksbeats.com/black. It's in our black box bundle inside of another kit called the Blueprint, inside of another kit called Beatmaker Blueprint. And we're going to go to the one-shots folder and grab a flute, for example. Left click and just drag it into where it says user audio. And what it will do is look at loop points. Now, if you're more advanced as a sound designer, you can't do loop points inside of Omnisphere. You have to handle that outside of Omnisphere. That's a separate video, and that's like plugin development type stuff that I don't really teach on YouTube. So let's go to the main tab here in Omnisphere. Okay, so if we just play notes, it should trigger. All right, so let's do a couple things. So let's add a layer B, and what we want on layer B is some white noise. So let's click here and go to noise. So noise is always a great thing to layer in for texture, but it's super loud. So let's turn it down. And also too, I want to turn on a filter here. Let's switch the filter type to a high pass filter. This will chisel out the low frequencies and make the noise a little bit thinner, so it's not as heavy. And let's say too, I want this amplitude knob to go up and down. But you see how it's affecting both the first sound and the second sound here? Every time I turn oscillator B or layer B down, it affects layer A. So let me show you guys why. If you go to the main tab here, you have to click where it says signal path and switch this off of shared and put it on independent. This means I can now do stuff on layer A that won't affect the layer B. So if you guys didn't notice, you may not have noticed that when I added a filter to layer B, it also added the same exact settings to layer A. Previously in Omnisphere, you would have to copy the filter settings and paste it. But I just want you guys to understand that's a big part of sound design, is unlinking those two if you're trying to get deeper into sound design. Okay, so now we have this filter, and what I want to do here is now right click and modulate with an LFO. So let's create an LFO over the amplitude of the noise. Let's go to sync mode here. Let's switch this to like 1/8 or so. Let's pull the source down, the target down, sorry, and the source up. So now we're creating a range. And if you don't want the effect to happen right away, add some delay. We can also add smoothness so it's not so jagged edge. But what I would recommend for this type of vibe is switch this shape to a square wave. Just a little more rhythmic. Now let's turn the volume down here at the bottom so that the noise stays in its own lane. Now another way to push noise to the background without really affecting is go to the effects. Now before, when I used to click on these, everything would be highlighted. So if everything's green, you need to go back to the main tab, switch this to independent. Okay, for the longest time I was like, it was just weird working in here. So let's go to layer B, which is our noise, and let's add a reverb. This is a great way to just push a sound to the background. Let's add a reverb, and let's do a superverb. I don't know what this is. So let's turn off layer A so you guys can hear. So now it pushes that white noise and makes it less up in our face, and it pushes it to the back, and it does different things. We can also filter the high end here by cutting the highs. It might become a little tonal, however. Also too, on the back panel, usually it has more effects. So duck, I guess it takes in the MIDI information and it turns it down, and when you release it, it lets the sound go. That's another way we can kind of tuck this noise into the sound. And now we could just mess with the volume and turn on layer A. Now, because we're using one-shots, if the sound does not have a loop parameter on it built into the actual sample, not inside of Omnisphere, it won't loop. Now, Omnisphere does loop samples that already have loop information, but again, loops get very complex when you get into embedding it onto the file. And like I said, I don't have a video for that because I don't teach that. Because that's basically plugin development at that point. Couple more things let's do here. Let's go to the amp envelope of layer A, and let's give it a little attack and a little release, so when we hit a key, it fades, as opposed to just, if I turn the release down, it just turns off. So release kind of blends the ends. So now we have a unique sound. Now, one of my also favorite techniques is to add alternative panning. So let's right click here. Let's go to modulate by alternative. Okay, so now when we hit a key, it should pan the sound left and right. So that's another great way to add width to a sound without doing a bunch of mixing. So now every other, like if I stack multiple keys, one will be on the left, one will be on the right. So it creates a unique spread. And we can also pull this in. So let's say that effect is a little too aggressive. We could pull in the source range. Now we have our own unique sound. Now if we wanted to save this, click on this hamburger icon in the top left, go to save patch as, and create a folder for whatever you guys are doing with it. So in this case, I'll just put it in the YouTube folder. We'll say pad one shot so I know what it is. Under attributes, we need to add at least one attribute. So let's go to author, BusyWorks Beats. You guys can do also genre, or that's usually what I keep it to, genre and author. The website here, we're going to put our own website. So busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere. You guys can actually sign up to join our Omnisphere 3 giveaway. We're going to pick a winner November 15th. So make sure you guys hop in before November 15th. And that's at busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere. It's completely free to join. You also get a free Omnisphere 2 bank built around wave music and funk. And you have 2 analog lab banks you get for free just for signing up. Hit save. All right, so now we have this. It should be saved in our directories. If you go to user directory, under user, it should be, if we go to our folder, our subfolder, in this case, YouTube, it will be in here. Now I can find all the other sounds we've created. Okay, so a lot of cool sounds in Omnisphere. Just really fire stuff. All right, so we can go crazy with it, but that's how you save your patches. Again, if you want some free sounds for Omnisphere 2, go to busyworksbeats.com/Omnisphere, and you can also use your Omnisphere 2 patches inside of Omnisphere 3. So it gets crazy. Subscribe if you're new. It's a game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace out, guys.